I want to talk to you a bit about shame and depression.
Right.
A lot of people suffer from depression, more or less, some more mildly, some more severely. How do people usually think about depression?
People think that depression is an energy, a feeling inside of them that moves them, draws them downward, slows them down. So people think about it in terms of a healing paradigm as something that bothers them, it disturbs them, that they want to undo, they want to anti-depress. So if I go to a doctor and have a fever, they want to lower the fever. If I have an infection, they want to give me an antibiotic to take away the infection, as if the infection is not a good thing. It's not,
Right.
right? As if the fever is not a good thing. We know it can be helpful in certain ways, but basically we're trying to get a person back to normal.
Right.
So people take depression the same way. I'm having an experience, some feelings, a downward energy, and I would like to get rid of that.
They want to be lifted up from that down.
That's right. They want to be lifted up. So then that person goes to a therapist, a medical doctor, or an acupuncturist, an herbalist, or to their own nutrient store and foods. They're going to try to work that particular angle. They're going to try to lift themselves back up as if there's something wrong with them. In a way, there is. But that's not the only way to look at it.
How can that attitude or approach be shaming for people, actually, even despite their best efforts to help themselves? How can it shame them?
Right. Well, in all allopathic thinking, allopathic means I'm going to take a disturbance that takes me away from normal and treat that as if something's wrong. Something's wrong with me. That's the hallmark of shame.
Right.
I'm going to treat it that way and I'm going to undo it. So that particular attitude works that way, so it's going to work that way on depression. That says that inside my depression, there's nothing there that's really important, that's meaningful, that I can learn from, that actually is positive, that may take me in an important direction.
Right.
So let's say in my depression is something useful. For instance, let's say a person is, I'm thinking of a person I worked with many years ago when I was an attorney, and I also did some counseling with attorneys. So attorneys then could work 70, 80 hours a week. Let's think of a more or less white male working 78 hours a week who was driven to perform and get a job and support his family. So that person is doing all that and then says, I'm depressed. And I say, what do you mean? I hardly have any energy. Well, many of us would automatically think, maybe the guy's exhausted.
Right.
Maybe he doesn't want to be working 80 hours a week. So in that way, the depression in a way is meaningful. It's almost a counter to an unhealthy lifestyle. We could say the lifestyle is sick, and the depression is a healing medicine direction.
Right.
It's taking that person down. Or some people say to me, I'm really depressed, and I'll say, how do you know? They'll say, I feel really down. I'll say, let's get really, really down. Okay, sit back. Yeah, close your eyes. Okay, I'm closing my eyes. Yeah, I could just lay down and do nothing. I would say, go ahead, let's lay down. If they were here, I might even put them on a couch or let their head go back. Just lay down and do nothing. What's your nothing like? I'm asking that because I'm just interested in their experience, not shaming their experience. It's like I'm just floating. Go ahead and float. I just feel like I'm on the river, being taken by life. How often do you try to make life bend to your will, make it happen? And how often do you let yourself just be taken and move with things? Oh, I never let things happen. It's not good to. I don't know how to do that.
Right.
So in that case, in their depression is a floating, letting life take them on the river a bit. If I tell them depression's bad, I want to antidepress you, I'm inadvertently telling them that deep desire you don't even know about yet to float. That's not a good thing.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not doing that intentionally,
Right.
but I don't know that's in the depression, but I'm telling them inadvertently by trying to get rid of the depression that this whole thing that's in the background is not so meaningful.
It's as if you try to get rid of it too quickly, you completely miss what is deeply going on for that person.
That's a perfect way of saying it. Because in everything that I've ever worked with, there are seeds that are meaningful. And so if you say, that's bad, oh my gosh, you're depressed, what's wrong? How can I make you feel better? If I'm your partner, how can I make you feel better? If I'm a friend, here's some good tea. If I'm a stranger, here's some advice, go run, etc. Everyone is antidepressing as if there's nothing in that particular depression useful. Yeah. So another thing that can be in depression, sometimes it's that downward motion, and that going down with a person can be important, but sometimes a person is being pressed down, they're being depressed by a culture that's against them, or a world or a family that's against them. So if a person's more marginalized in the culture, that person has weight on them. It makes it harder. If you're a woman, then you get 70 cents on the dollar, and then maybe you're being misused or abused in a family. Maybe you're treated like a person who doesn't have much power, doesn't deserve much respect. Those attitudes press you down.
Wow.
I'm just feeling bad.
Right.
And that person, if you talk to them about going down, and say, does depression take you down? They'd say, yeah, it does. It pisses me off. I'm tired of being down. I don't like it. And that person is not showing an interest in descending. That person is showing a little oomph, a little anger, a little frustration. And I might say, you seem frustrated about that. Can we go into that a bit? Yeah, I just feel like I can hardly get up and make things happen. I say, what's against you? They may know. If they don't, I might even press down on their shoulders physically and say, I'm not going to let you up. And then they can push back. And they could feel the wrestle, because something is winning. It's depressing them. They don't have the strength to do that.
Wow.
Say, go ahead, use your strength, push back. And I might push down and help them manifest and access a particular experience.
Yep.
And they might say, I'm tired of something.
Right.
My husband treating me like crap. I'm tired of my kids boss me around. Whatever. I'm tired of something, of not doing the things I really want to do in my life. I need some strengths. So in that particular person, the depression has a seed of a kind of a power. So if I anti-depress them, here, you're depressed. This will make you feel better. I feel better. But where's all that oomph?
Right.
What about the book they were going to write? What about the husband they were going to tell off? What about the kids that they were going to set more boundaries on? None of that happens because I'm not believing in the depression. I'm inadvertently shaming something's wrong with you for that underlying power. Something's that you can't push back against far enough. Something's wrong with you for that underlying go down and drop out of things. So that attitude's around all the time. It's conventional for us to think that way.
So these approaches that you're demonstrating in the moment would be non-shaming approaches to depression.
Right, they're non-shaming. I'm not thinking that depression is a symbol or representative or symptom indicating something wrong with a person. I'm assuming that depression is something that has energies in it that person doesn't know enough about. So actually, I'm going to give them something that's in the depression. I'm going to give them something back. I'm going to take the depression and I'm going to say, I see inside there's some power. Let me make sure you have that, because it's hidden inside that whole fight that you had there. I want to give that to them.
Would it be fair to say that what's wrong, so to speak, is not the fact that they're down, but the fact that they don't yet know what is actually going on there for themselves?
That's right. And I would think that would be one of the most fundamental aspects of a good psychological healing. Who am I? What is this thing that I am that sometimes is angry, sometimes is depressed, has different experiences? What is this thing I am as depression now, as opposed to it being an illness? Can you tell me who this is that's depressed, what that means for me, how I relate to it? Is that part of a pattern of my life? A good analysis then leaves a person with self-love and understanding of those, how to move with those, what information it is, what that tells me about myself.
It's fascinating. I feel like I could talk to you about this forever.
It's a great topic.
Great topic. For people who want to learn more, they can go to your website at www.davidbedrick.com. They can click on events and see what classes are coming up. I know you're going to teach a class soon on shame, and you'll be teaching those semi-regularly. And they can also sign up for your mailing list and just learn more about your work.
Great. I would like that. Thanks.
Thanks.